tremendous boom, the great calamity, a wake-up call. Humanity united to avoid the fall. With terror and array, they healed the earth, reclaimed the future, proved their worth. But in the sky, a rift did appear, a doorway to worlds both far and near. Rangers of Quanta, brave and bold, guardians of secrets, stories untold. From terror to the stars, they fight and explore, anchoring the multiverse forevermore.
Well, hello there, Ranger. Fancy meeting you here. Are you, maybe?
I'm busy.
Too busy to entertain a fellow Zetri with your tales of daring exploits,
Follow my online profile for updates.
Interesting. Is this the format I should expect your reports to be in from now on?
Huh? Oh, you're, the guy. Clement? Sorry, sir. I meant no offense.
I am, in fact, the guy. And don't worry about it. We're both off the clock. Do you mind if I take this seat?
Yeah, go ahead.
Much obliged. So you post about your missions on the regular?
Well, sometimes you find cool stuff on a new planet.
We sure do.
And it makes it easier to remember them all. I lose track of what happened where otherwise.
Fair enough. Although dimension hopping doesn't always end in the best of ways. Some people don't want reminders of them.
Ugh, yeah. Don't even get me started. Maja, upload status.
Compiling is at 35%.
Damn it, the connection here is so slow.
Correcting caption spelling errors. Adjusting profanity levels.
Really? That bad?
Kinda, yeah.
Sounds like you need an ear. Offer is there if you want it. But please, start from the beginning.
Okay. So... At first, it all went like usual. Woke up, got ready, reported to the Exploration and Research Department to register for the mission.
Your last mission marked the destruction of your 57th alarm clock.
57th? Impressive.
I hate waking up early.
Correction, you woke up at 12:48 ITF.
As I was saying, it was all pretty standard for a while. The only new thing was the very cheery dispatcher I got this time. Told me to stay safe. Got me feeling all warm and fuzzy.
So, that can make all the difference. Someone in your corner wishing you well and hoping for you to get back home.
Like a spell? You believe in those?
Why not? There are stranger things out there.
Yeah, maybe. I still wonder a bit how I managed to make it this time. The rift jump went without a hitch. Got some really nice views, too. I don't know if I'll ever get tired of the sights when I jump into a rift.
The expanse between dimensions, liquid time and space. I do find myself missing it.
When I got out, the sky was spectacular, like nowhere else. Loose stellar gas making it all bright and pretty, and that's where my destination was. The local nexus.
Star catalog code number A1K45.
Yeah, that. So, it was right in the center of the local quadrant. It was a yellow dust ball. Couldn't see anything from the cockpit's front view as I landed. The sun was scorching. The land was a flat desert as far as I could tell, with some mountains on the horizon. I tried to land as close as possible to the Nexus's anchoring point, and I still had to walk for about 2 days to get to it. Just 2 days of walking in a desert. So there I was, sweating down to my horns under that killer sun as I walked. I reached a canyon at one point, splitting the desert right down the middle. The glare of the sun made it hard to notice at first, but there was a city there, carved into the rock walls, going on for kilometers in that shade of the canyon. Couldn't reach it from where I was, but it made for a nice view. Kind of sad though, since it looked like a ghost town. Ancient, dead, just like the rest of that place.
No wildlife?
For the most part, no.
Confirmed, no signs of organic life forms have been detected.
Oh boy.
I'll get to that later. So, I followed the ridge of the canyon for the rest of the way, found a tower at the end of it just as the sun was setting. It matched the coordinates of the anchoring point, so I went for it in the morning.
Coordinates: 30 minutes, 19 degrees, 42.7 seconds north, and 35 degrees, 26 minutes, 38.7 seconds east. Open desert.
Yeah. Turns out the optics were messing with me. Took me until midday to reach it, and it was huge. Had a big gate in front, carved out of a stone pillar. It was basically another dead city.
Scanning error. Analysis incomplete. Further data required.
Once I got in, the air was nice and cool, which was a nice change of pace. Had to go deeper though, to match the coordinates properly. Found a round chamber there. Scanned it with my night goggles. I think it was a prayer chamber. Looked like Grandcraft, real old stuff, and a dead end. All the other passages were damaged to the point of collapse. There were crude carvings telling a story. I think the Gren did religious stuff in that room. Rituals of some kind. Snapped a glow stick to look around. Saw a neat-looking mural there. Looked like an altar, surrounded by some Gren-looking hooded statues standing across 8 marked pillars. Had some weird reptilian-looking skull on the altar, too. Took me a minute to realize the mural looked similar to the layout of the room I was in. Didn't have the altar in it, and some of the real pillars were toppled at that point, but they had brass plates with the same symbols as the ones on the mural, so it was definitely the same place. But instead of an altar, there was an 8-sided brass plate on the floor with some hinges on it. I kinda lost track of time after that. Kept trying to figure out how to release the hinges. Got bored, then realized I probably should have tried pushing the brass plates on the pillars to match the markings on the mural. That seemed to do the trick. Released all the hinges one by one.
A classic. And what did you get?
The altar came out just like in the mural. It had a wide, dry pool in the middle with a skull that looked just like in the mural. I was so stoked
You picked up the skull, didn't you?
What? No!
Yes, you did.
You walked into a long dead tower, surrounded by unknown danger and mystery, found the skull of a creature used as a ritual object you know nothing about, and you took a selfie with it? Can I see?
Yeah, duh.
Sending skull selfie 0.05 to Ranger Clement.
Thank you, Maja. So you were saying?
So, turns out, I am a genius. Because that very selfie made me notice some sweet loot the skull had in its mouth. A holographic projector. I turned it on, and it showed the entire planet. Turns out, it had cities all across its continents. All of them just as big as, if not bigger, than the one I was in.
Nexus anchoring point discovered.
I was getting there. So yeah, there was the Nexus point too. So I do that whole thing, you know how it is. Take off the quantum anchor, twist, and I stuck it right on the skull, by the way. It just felt right, you know?
A rapid increase in atmospheric pressure, 1030 hectopascals and rising. Danger of falling debris.
Yeah, it got ugly real fast. I had to get away. I only realized later that I forgot to pick up the projector. All that data, lost forever.
Shit, that's a shame.
And that's not even the worst part. I started to see stuff moving in the shadows. Because, guess what? Turns out not everything on this planet is dead. They had Tatruks, at least.
Tatrak, middling desert carnivores, usually dwelling underground. Their teeth-laden jaws are capable of expanding up to 3 times the size of their own bodies.
Didn't even have time to take out my rifle before they swallowed me.
Excuse me? They what?
Yeah, it was the worst. I almost suffocated in there. For a moment, I thought that was the end. Thankfully, I still had my rifle within reach. Shot them from the inside. Weakened their jaws enough to get out. It was very gross. Would not do again.
Ah, that takes me back.
After all that, running back into the hot desert was almost welcoming. The Tetruks were still on my tail, so I had to make a run for it. And since I anchored the Nexus, I was able to connect with the ship's autopilot and have it come pick me up. I only looked back after jumping on the hull. A bunch more came crawling out, and the last thing I saw was the ruins collapsing on top of most of them. Fitting, really. Then I went back into the cockpit and flew away. And so, here we are.
That's a hell of a story, kid.
Compiling at 60%.
Ugh, unbelievable.
Well, progress is progress.